My name is Jason Lay, and this is my wife, Anna Lay. We're here in Perge, Turkey, the ancient city of Perge, or what would have been Perga, in chapter 13 and 14 of the book of Acts. This was the city that Paul came from Cyprus up the river to, and first got out and brought the good news, the truth of Jesus Christ, to the whole world in this area. It was based out of here. We've came here first to make points to other people that claim to believe the truth, but are apparently heavily deceived right now and have no idea what's going on. Cursed is the man who puts his trust in man and makes flesh or people his strength. We're told this. Thus saith the Lord. This is Jeremiah chapter 17:5. See, they were trusting their teachers and prophets way back then, and their prophets would take the words of God and twist them out of context. The same way the people are doing with Jesus saying, no man knows the day or the hour. That was 2,000 years ago. Jesus said, I go to the Father, and I'll show you plainly of the Father, the truth, and I'll show you the things to come. The Father loves the Son. He's not going to let the day overtake you like a thief in the night. These are false teachers telling you this. They're telling you to walk around and refuse to believe what your eyes are showing you. Jesus wouldn't do that. He didn't contradict himself any more than Jesus contradicted himself when he said, anybody who follows after me has to deny themselves. He said, anybody who loves their life in this world will lose it. Anybody who loses their life in this world, hates their life in this world, for my sake will find life eternal, right? He said, don't fear them who kill the body, but after that they can't do anything. Fear him who can destroy both the body and soul in hell. That means death forever, the grave, burned up. Yeah? Fear him. That's fear God, right? So if he's telling you not to fear them who could kill the body, right? And not kill the soul, and he's telling you not to love your life in this world, why would he give you a commandment in the same Matthew that you're telling no man knows the day or the hour? Why would he give you a commandment where he says, when those are in Judea, see the abomination of desolation, let them flee to the mountains. Yeah, let him who on the housetop not come down. Let him who's in the field not turn around and go back to the house and grab anything. Woe unto them that are with child and give suck in those days. That's a conflict, the way you're reading it, because that's not true. It's not what he's saying. The thing he's telling you, him on the housetop, yeah, first, those in Judea, the kingdom of God is within. Judea is within. Yeah?
You don't have to be in physical Judea.
You don't have to be in physical Judea. It's not there now. It's talking about within. And when you see the abomination of causes desolation, run to the mountains. The mountains, that's the wilderness. He's going to speak to you there. Yeah? Let him who's on the housetop not turn around and come back in the house. What are you doing from the housetop? What I whisper in your ear, shout from the rooftops. That's the housetop. That's the rooftop. Let him who's in the field don't turn back around and go back and get his stuff out of the house. That's the parable of the sower in the field. The field is the earth. He's done told us that. The sower is the person out there sowing the word of God. Don't turn around and look back. The woman giving suck, he tells you in John what that is. A woman travailing in pain, she forgets when the child is born. That's the people. That's the woman spoken of in Revelation 12. That's all of us that try to do that very thing, that try to go out and see other children of God be born through the Word of God, through the Spirit of truth. That's what he was telling people. He wasn't telling you to run and to get your bug out location. He wasn't telling people in Judea to go hide in rocks. He was talking to us and telling us that same thing, that when we seen the abomination of desolation, we would know to do what we're doing now. He doesn't give conflicts. These false prophets are twisting his words out of context. You can know the day and the hour if the Father shows you. And he said the Father loves the Son and shows him all things. So that's why we're warning you about this. The people that get caught as a thief in the night, these are the people who are asleep. These are the people that aren't. They don't have the day star risen in their heart. Yeah? That's not a good thing. You're warned not to let it catch you like a thief in the night. How many times? He warned you to watch. You were told in Daniel, blessed is he who waits and comes to the 1,035 days. There's a reason. We know what the reason is. We're warning you. Please, please stop telling people things that you don't understand. Stop repeating stuff that's been told by hypocrites that would come to places like this and try to trick you with fancy speech and, make you feel good about yourself, that you're so smart. We're warning you, wake up. Yeah? There's you need to hear this carefully. No fallen angels coming back. That's a trick. Period. How could everybody be wrong? How could so many people be wrong? Well, I'll read you here from the prophet Jeremiah. Yeah. And this would have been in chapter 17. Yeah. The sin and captivity of Judah. Yeah. It says right here, thus saith the Lord, cursed. Yeah. Be the man that trusts in man and makes flesh his arm. It means his strength. And whose heart departs from the Lord. To hear the voice of the Lord and have your heart depart from the Lord, that's to depart from the truth. Not these lies and doctrines of demons that these false teachers are telling you about. The same people that 2,000 years ago just basically changed the names of the idols they were making for money. And told people the same stories, they just repackaged them and gave them, by the name Hebrew names. That's all. So he says that. Yeah. Person is cursed if that person trusts, in man, or makes people and nations and numbers his strength. Yeah. Why don't you go look at what happened to David when he went to start numbering people? God made a point there for 3 days. Yeah. So we would understand you don't ever follow the group. Matter of fact, Jesus said very clearly, many will seek to enter in but won't be able to. We're also told by the apostles that concerning the false teachers, concerning all these pastors, all these people that write books, who are they to write a book? This Bible tells me there was no apostolic succession. The Orthodox are wrong, Catholics are wrong, and the Protestants are definitely wrong for writing books. There's 12 foundations to the wall. And the 12 foundations are the 12 apostles that Jesus Christ himself chose. Nobody else. You don't write books. That should be the first sign that something's wrong with these people. They totally missed the message. God was never speaking to them. It continues on in Jeremiah and it says, for he, this man that's cursed, shall be like the heath in the desert. Look up that word. And he shall not see when good, comes. In other words, when he will not see the person who's trusting in man and trusting in all the flesh around him, numbers. These people said they believed in God at the time. They said they believed in the God of Abraham. They said they were worshiping Yahweh or Jehovah. Yeah, they were in Jerusalem. They believed all of this, right? That's what they were saying. These Pharisees, priests, pastors, but today, same thing they were saying to Jesus Christ. God's our Father. Abraham's our Father. Jesus told them correctly, if Abraham was your father, you'd do the works of Abraham. Abraham's not your father. You don't do the things Abraham does because you seek to kill me, a man who's done nothing but tell you the truth. That's what he told him. He said, you're of your father, the devil. Yeah, period. No different today. They do the same identical thing today. They freaking write books. They establish their own little kingdoms. And they do it for money and stuff in the world. They trade the bread and wine, the bodies and the blood of all of their followers to the kings of the earth, hearts and minds. That's what they've always done. Yeah. So he goes on to say, for he shall be like a heath in the desert, and this man that's cursed won't see when good comes. Somebody telling him the truth. But he shall inhabit the parched places, and in the wilderness, in a salt land, and not inhabit it. It says, but blessed, happy, is the man that trusts in the Lord. That means despite all of the world, trusts in the truth. And whose hope is in the Lord. For he shall be as a tree planted in waters, and that spreads out her roots by the river, and shall not see when the heat comes, but her leaf shall be green, and shall not be careful in the year of drought, neither shall cease from what? Yielding fruit. Yielding fruit, which is the truth. Yeah? In other words, trying to help you guys. Yield fruit. So we're coming to you, again, in this hope that you'll understand, putting your trust in the world, that's putting your trust in the wrong place. We just took you there, we showed you what the devil is, essentially, the world. What demons are. There's no truth in any of that stuff. Any more than there's truth in the church houses that, the bottom line is these false teachers are teaching you all this stuff out there. They're going around and they're saying, we're not blind. We know what's really going on. We know it's not aliens. We know it's fallen angels and demonic entities and all of this other nonsense that's not true. And they're being told this by false teachers who the truth of the matter is, the reason all that, all those fallen angel doctrines, the old Second Temple stuff is starting to be unpacked now. Or, started 20 years ago. It's probably people started realizing there might be something to the whole UFO thing. And the people in these fake church houses, rather than just following the truth, they needed some way to explain it away. So the Catholics, the Pope and his stuff, well, they've already got bad reputation from not looking through the telescope. And looking like, fools to the Protestants. So they don't want to be guilty of that same crime again, refusing to look through the telescope. So they want to be at the forefront of it, right? They want to beat the Protestants this time around and say, no, we've changed, we're enlightened, we're willing to accept our mistakes. And you know what? If Space Brothers come, we'll baptize them. That's absurd, by the way. We'll take the gospel to the Space Brothers. It's crazy when I hear things like that, because it tells me 100% they have no idea what the Bible's saying. But then, on the other side, the Protestants, they're doubling down and saying, no, it's going to be a new one world order under the Catholics with, Muslims and all of these other things, one world religion, right? And that's what's coming, and the aliens are going to be tricks. It's not really going to be aliens. It's going to be fallen angels, that nowhere in the Bible does it say anything about fallen angels coming back. Yeah, nowhere. Yeah. Anyways.
You can just talk until they tell us.
Yeah, well. Bottom line, nowhere in the Bible does it say anything about, in the book of Revelation or anywhere else, fallen angels coming back. It does mention in the book of Isaiah in chapter 24, it does mention that, at the end, that, God's going to punish the host of the high ones on high, and he's going to punish the kings of the earth on the earth, Well, it goes back to the same prophecy that the man told Jeroboam back in Kings, that, at the end of the world, a guy from Bethlehem is going to come and he's going to offer up on these altars of high places, the priests, that means the false priests, the priests of the high ones, and men's bones to be burned up on the altar. It's not talking about fallen angels there, really. See, that's where it's because they never understood what the Bible, what God was saying. They can't read that right there. They don't understand why, Paul talks about people opposing themselves, and why Paul was long-suffering to try to take the truth the truth of Jesus Christ, the real truth of the Bible, to those that oppose themselves. Long-suffering. There's a reason. Because it's not about the afterlife. It's about time travel. That's what we're trying to make you understand. The world tricks you into thinking something else. It's awful. They trick you with a pagan version of everything. Spirit world afterlife. It was never seen. Jesus Christ said to be careful offending one of the least of these little ones, right? He said, because in heaven, that means up in the sky above, their angels always behold the face of the Father. The false teachers and the false prophets will tell you it's talking about somebody's guardian angel. It's not talking about somebody's guardian angel. Jesus told you in the resurrection that they neither marry nor are given in marriage. There is the angels in heaven. That's why. It's not talking about the afterlife. It's talking about time travel. That's what it's talking about. And for the people that are opposing themselves, they never believed that God would raise them from the dead. These false teachers, there's a reason most of them teach what they teach. They're chained in darkness for a reason. It's why we're not wasting our time going to them. There's no point in me going to the Pope necessarily. I'd tell them the truth. But I'm not wasting my time going to the Pope or any of these big pastors or big teachers out there. The reason I'm not wasting my time going to them is the very fact of who they are. Yeah, someone like Kenneth Copeland, is a good example on the Pentecostal Protestant side. These types, I wouldn't dare go to them because the principle that Jesus Christ told me, God is kind, to the evil and the unthankful. This is all these people are ever going to have, are their kingdoms that they've got. They walk in darkness for a reason. And we know what that reason is. And it's a really sad thing, and it's a terrifying thing to see when you realize that the Bible is actually talking about this, and it's showing this, and then you realize, that these people were just as the Apostle Peter tells us, or as Jude tells us, that they were preordained of old. There's a key word there, preordained of old. It's not talking about reincarnation. Preordained of old for this condemnation. To be false teachers and false prophets. It was something that they were ordained to do for a reason. They can't help it. That's why they're referred to as trees without fruit, withered, twice dead, plucked up by the roots. Key word, twice dead, plucked up by the roots. To whom the mist, there's another key word, mist. Think about where you may have heard that word mist. Mist of darkness is reserved forever.